Yeah, welcome to another podcast. My name is Melvin Bos, physiotherapist, manual therapist, and board member of the Dutch Association for Manual Therapy. And today we got two guest speakers from IFOMPT, so that will be an interesting episode. Today, before we starting over with the subject, we do some introduction from our speakers, so the listener will know who are these speakers. First of all, can you tell our Twitter's colleagues who are?
So I'm Guillaume Christe, I'm a physiotherapist working in Lausanne at SVOMP, School of Physiotherapy. I'm sharing my time between research, teaching and clinical practice, and I have been involved for the last 3 years in the program committee of this conference. That's probably why I'm here.
All right, and another guest speaker?
My name is Anita Hartmeier. I'm a clinician working at a hospital in Solothurn since many years. Yes, I'm the head of a physio department and I'm involved in the program committee since the beginning. Yes.
All right, thank you. Now let us start over first of all with the history of it from this Congress. And then we're taking a step to the program with the speakers as well and the philosophy of IFOMPT for creating this program and the setting. And after that one, we will be ending this podcast with the inclusiveness as well. So let's get over with the history.
Yeah, I think the bid came, it's not from IFOMPT, it's from the member organization
From the member itself?
Yes, the bid is a member organization who does the bid to be allowed to prepare or take a conference to his or her own country.
Okay.
And this is what SVOMP did, and I think this is what Marion mostly did. She shared around people to really make this happen.
Ah.
Yes, that's what Marion Schreiner.
And is it like just, for example, with soccer, with World Championships, is it like there are different bids from different countries for every congress?
Yes, certainly.
So
it's
you
for
need
the
to
next
do
one.
a pitch or a presentation. Why?
Yes, it's a tough process. You
okay.
already have the conference organizer, the professional conference organizer. You already have the tourism organization from the place involved, because you need to do a video, you need really to say why in Basel, what will be the legacy, all this thing. It's a huge process to go through. I haven't been involved in this really, just a little tiny bit. And yes, then you are the one who can prepare the conference in Switzerland or in Basel. And then the work of the program committee starts, I think.
Yeah, and then there was a moment, it was Switzerland who won the bid.
Yes.
Got it? What was the reason it was Switzerland? What are your strongest points for this?
I have to admit, I don't really know what were all the things. I think they look what it's an offer, what really, on a whole context, professionally, the legacy, the ideas behind. There is what is the main theme, what is the title, or what are the strands in it. These are what are you trying to achieve, and I think that's of the reason. But how they really decide, that's difficult to know. Other to say, perhaps they change always the continent. It won't be twice in the same continent and things like this.
So there are multiple factors.
Yes, which I really don't know which.
Yeah. All right, makes sense. No, that's a good one to know about for how does the process go. Then the program for these multiple days, and today is Saturday, so the final day. The program. Can you tell me something about it?
Yeah, for sure. So first we started to take the bid and also look at the strands and go a little bit deeper in the philosophy of the program, what we really want to show in this conference. And so we rework a bit the strands, and it was quite a long time. It takes a few months to really think really deeply what would be the best way to present the program. And I think at first there were 4 strands and it became 3 at the end, 1 for each day, and also that means one keynote speaker for each strand and each day. And actually for the program committee we really have a lot of discussion for the keynote speakers, but then the rest of the program, it's all submissions from the workshop, for the focus symposia and all the research presentations. It's all based on abstracts. So the choice of the program committee is really to put the philosophy in place, to organize that, but not to choose so many speakers, because most of that is chosen from abstract based on the decision of the scientific committee. So we worked quite a lot for this philosophy, and I think the theme of the Congress, Crossing Bridges, is such a great theme. So we were really happy to work with that, thinking of the past, the present, the future, but also crossing bridges between practice, research, patients, and also society. There are so much happening now, and probably when we start thinking of the program, like AI was here, but not so much than now. So sustainability also, many topics that are very, very critical for us. So we also try to find a way how we can include that.
It's a nice thing to hear about the philosophy as well. And the crossing bridges, well, why the name Crossing Bridges?
I think this was really a collaboration with different people, and it's because there are 7 bridges in Basel. I hope I say it right, but there are a lot of bridges. And perhaps a little bit an anecdote. Basel now is also bidding for having the next European Song Contest, because Switzerland won it with Nemo.
Yeah.
Yes, and they will use, Basel will use Crossing Bridges as their theme, but there are other cities who will compete for having the European Song Contest, but they will also use the same. And I think it's like Guillaume said, it's about crossing bridges in this education, research, future path, from the past to the present to the future.
Very nice to hear.
And I think it's so critical that we try to help this community to grow, and it's really good, like you're doing podcasts, and it's really a good way to translate research to clinicians and to have these discussions, and here it's the best place to do that. And it was really something really important for us, that we don't walk into silo, and we try to bridge these bridges for the good of patients, for the good of society, and try to use this Congress as a good place for that. And also lots of discussion between what was the philosophy or the history of IFOMPT and the change that are happening now, and really want to have a really constructive discussion between all these ideas and perspectives.
And how are the experiences right now from these 3 days?
I'm very happy.
Yeah.
Yes, I think we got a lot of very good feedbacks. I think many people appreciated the program, the people we invited, how we approached this. I think we got a lot of very positive feedback, and I'm very happy also that we could bring in really topics who have been missed, like the environmental, what Guillaume said, or the AI. I think these are the things which didn't come in with the normal submission.
It's like thinking out of the box.
Yes.
For the manutherapists in general, and how to collaborate with other stakeholders, right?
Yes.
Who you're working with for the patient. Is that a summary?
Yeah, I think we really have a really nice conference. The quality of the talks and the different perspectives that we can see here, all these constructive discussions are really great. And I think it's really a good way to have this really nice and expert community around MSK problems, MSK physiotherapy, that go beyond just manual therapy, and that go also beyond even exercise, just thinking a bit, as you said, out of the box, and thinking of what we are, what we have achieved, and also where we go to the futures. It's really important, and I really love the atmosphere here. It's really constructive, and I think it's great to see that this discussion is really constructive.
Yeah, for me as a participant as well, it's like there's a kind of vibe for openness, right? For just talk with each other you don't know of, and it's very a warm atmosphere.
Yeah.
That's my personal experience, so compliments for that one. Do you want to give some add-ons as well about the philosophy or program? What are the most beautiful moments or subjects within this philosophy?
I think the challenge is to get people, to attract people to submit something who think they wouldn't fit to a MSK IFOMPT kind of conference. This is why
something innovative, something new.
Yes, we really needed to make calls also for particular topics which weren't covered, like education, which is very important when you think about educating the future MSK community. We needed to make an extra call also for IE, technologic things also. And what was, I think... Sustainability, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. And also to try really to get also people from low and middle income countries, to really get them also on board to think they are able to contribute something, and it will be worth that they do this. Yes, because we could have filled the program, we could have had easy work, fill up with everything what's coming in, but to make a balanced program, this was a bit the challenge. And also discussion with the scientific committee, because they were involved also, yes.
Yeah, this is a good bridge to our final phase of this podcast about the inclusiveness as well. There was a beautiful video on the kickoff on this Congress about all the things going on in the world. And there are some things like the gender, for example, the countries. There are multiple countries with different kind of income models. What's the importance of that one for this Congress, and why is it taken with in the kickoff and through the Congress?
I think the first thing is, we know that Switzerland is an expensive country. Yeah. So you already exclude many people if you invite or you make it a conference in such a country. And this was, I think, one of the reasons why we were particularly sensitive to really have an inclusiveness and make it available also for the low and middle income country. We had grants, we have we have pre and post conference courses, and there within we have really people who gave courses either for free, so we can have grants for people from low income countries.
So that one is taken care of as well, to getting more involvedness for other people and countries to get in.
Yes, it was important for us, and just to also to acknowledge this, or other people who gave courses were prepared to do this with less wage than they are, or what they normally get. This was one of the reasons. And then, but also IFOMPT gave a certain amount that we can invite people, and not just for the conference entrance, because it isn't. They have to travel, they have to be here. I think this is one of the important things. And the other thing is, because you can't invite everybody, so we really tried hard to be able to record sessions and we will make them available afterwards, in particular to the low and middle income countries for nearly nothing. I think we haven't decided on the yet exactly how it will work.
So there are multiple things going on. It's like getting more openness for people to come here in different ways, as well as creating content to publish afterwards.
Yes.
For
to make
this
available
group as well.
Yeah.
Is there something else you want to talk about for the inclusiveness as well?
I can maybe add something. We also work hard with Elsevier and Gwangel, particularly did a really great job to have all the focus symposia, the keynote. We have made extended abstract, so it's not just a 500 words abstract, but 1,500 words small article that will be published, and that also made available to all the community what is coming out from that. And we asked the presenters to do it in May this year, so it's really recent thinking of them that will be published next month. So it's really nice that everything can go out. And maybe the last point for me about inclusiveness is that we also tried really hard to make students from Switzerland come here, because it's really such a huge opportunity, and we faced many challenges for that, especially the price of the conference.
For students all over the world, it's always pricey. So,
but we
one is familiar.
We worked really hard to make them come here and to find funding for them. And actually, from Lausanne, there are 30 students here, and I think they're really enjoying the conference, and it's great to see the new generation here also.
Good to hear. For me personally, I didn't know of this one you're talking about, so I think it's good to do the podcast and share that with all our colleagues in the world, to know how does the process going on, the program and everything else behind. And I think it's very good what your guys are doing with the inclusiveness as well. So compliments for that one. Is there a take-home message you want to share as a final one for our listeners? Anita?
I think the inclusiveness we really have to get better at.
Yeah.
Yes, and I say we have certain ideas, because as we now have many learnings on the way, we will be able to give our learnings also back to IFOMPT, but also to Vancouver, who will be the next in 4 years, next conference in 4 years.
Yeah.
And I think this is one thing we will really try hard. We can make even more for the inclusiveness. I think we just started, and I think we need to.
Yeah, that's a good one. And for you?
Yeah, I think we really need to also push that Futures IFOMPT Congress happen not in just high-income countries, and help people from low-middle countries to come, but we do it there. I think it's really, we need to push for that. I think that we can maybe have a Congress, IFOMPT Congress in Kenya or in Asia, and not just in Europe and United States, Canada, Australia. So I think it's really important to be really inclusive, because here there are many Swiss, obviously, but if you do in another country, they will have the chance to come also to the conference.
All right. I would like to thank you both for joining this podcast. I would like to thank the IFOMPT as well for giving the support for the Dutch Association for Manual Therapy to make a record for this episode. So
thanks for listening to this podcast. If you want to know more about IFOMPT, go to the website ifompt.org. If you want to know more about SVOMP, go to swomp.ch. Are you a Dutch colleague and want to know more about the Dutch Association for Manual Therapy? Please visit our website. If you're not a member, become a member. Together we can shape the world of manual therapy. Have a nice day.